Hey everybody, this is Sue Craig, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Cleveland, Ohio, and today I have a fun fold for you. I first saw this on Dawn's Stamping Thoughts, and I loved the idea of it, and I put it together with this paper, and I'll tell you what the paper is, what the stamps are, and measurements, etc. But here's the card. And it pulls open like this. Now I don't have something in the middle there right now because I'm not sure exactly how I want to use it. And when I did classes this week, some of the ladies said the same thing. It's a nice sentiment on the front, but they didn't know what they wanted to put inside. So let's see how I made this. The stamp set that I used is Paradise Garden. Paradise Garden has a hybrid embossing folder that comes with it. A hybrid means that it has an embossing folder with a die that goes in the embossing folder so that it will emboss and cut at the same time. I put my dies and my stamps in the same envelope so that when I reach for one, I get both. This is in the online exclusives. The paper that I'm going to use is called Delicate Dreams. It's also an online exclusive. I want to show you some of the papers. It's just gorgeous. This paper has Crumb Cake, Gray Granite, a new color, Hydrangea Hue, Mossy Meadow, Secret Sea, and Bronze. That's what you'll see in this. It's the metallic color. Can you see the metallics in it? I love the backs on this as well. Isn't that a pretty one? Look at this one. Secret Sea with the bronze. Look at the back, Hydrangea. Here we are with the bronze. Just as a side note, any of these like this, you can color with your blends if you like. Makes for another pretty card. Excuse me. So what we're going to need to make the card, you don't have to write it down. It's going to be in the description below. Just click on more and it'll take you to it. Check out those nails, huh? I usually don't do my nails, but my 4-year-old granddaughter gave me the glitter glam treatment today when I babysat. So I told her I'd leave it on for a while. All right. So we have a card base that's a little bigger than we typically would use. Excuse me. Usually our card base is 5.5 by 11, and this is 5 1/4 by 11. We're going to score this at 1 3/4 and 3 1/2 from each end. So if you're doing this, score it at 1 3/4 and then 3 1/2, and then flip it over, score it at 1 3/4 and 3 1/2. That makes it easier for you. Okay? We're going to take this, and these are going to fold in. Those that are at the 3 1/2 will fold in. 1 3/4 flaps will fold back. And we'll use our bone folder to make it a little bit easier. Fold it. Crease that. Remember, the 1 3/4 is going to fold back and push down. All right. So you're going to have what looks like a door with a wide opening. All right. You did not score it wrong. That's exactly how it needs to be. All right. When you look at the card here, you see that there are 3 panels of the designer paper. They are all the same size. Those panels are 1 5/8 by 3 7/8. This is called Delicate Dreams, and I showed you that. We're going to use the paper that has the small flowers on it. That's mostly what I had left over when people made choices. Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold, and sometimes it gets in the way. You're going to need 3 pieces of white that are 1 3/4 by 4, and these will go underneath each one of those designer paper panels. I have 2 circles. The white circle is 2 1/2 inches. You can use a die or you can use a punch. And then I have that new color, Hydrangea Hue. I could not wait to get my hands on this. It's beautiful. 2 3/4 inches for that. I used punches for mine, but you can use dies, you can use a machine to cut them out, whatever you like. For the inside of our card, there is a piece of Hydrangea Hue, and there will be a piece of white that goes on top of that for your sentiment, which I just did not glue into this sample. Excuse me. So the white piece for inside is 3 1/2 inches by 4 3/4. The Hydrangea Hue piece is 3 3/4 by 5. Because of all the blue in this, the bluish purple, I'm going to finish up my pack of Hues of Blues flowers for our decorating. All right, so let's get started. I'll tell you, when I did this for classes, I noticed that this paper, when it was cut, was a little more difficult than I thought it would be to put together. And so what I did was I numbered the panels. So this is number 3. It's going to go at the bottom. This is number 2. And this is number 1. Okay? I left it like that and told students, leave it like that. Because what we're going to do is we're going to add it to the piece of white here and then add it to the card. So we want to have as little confusion as possible. We're going to put adhesive on the white rectangle, and this paper is going to go almost to the ends on the top and the bottom. I'm going to put it back in place. The second piece, again, you can use whatever adhesive is your favorite. Right now I'm using tape runner. There we go. And I put it right back where it belongs. You notice I'm not turning this paper at all. I saw in class that when people did that, it messed them up. So I was just putting that white paper where it needed to be and adding the designer paper right on top. So I haven't moved, I haven't turned things around, I've left it just the same. This is an easy card to put together, and so we're going to take our card base and we're going to take the top piece, and I'm going to add adhesive just on this left side here, the left door. I'm going to pick this piece up and I'm going to match it to the edge of this paper and the top edge of the card. All right, and I can't see exactly what I'm doing, so I need to pull this off a little bit. What I like to do is to actually hold the paper on top of where I'm going to be gluing. And if I hold it this way, it's a lot easier for me to see. All right. Now to make it easy again, we want to go to the very bottom and add adhesive. So I will take the bottom piece and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold this up and I'm going to line this up with the very bottom of the card and the far left hand side of the card. Push it down. Okay, now we just have the middle one to do, and that's going to be on the right hand side. See, I'm putting the adhesive right on the door itself. That way I know that there's not going to be any adhesive sticking this whole thing shut. I found it was easier to turn it sideways so that I could see that it would reach each end. There you have it. Okay. So we're going to take this one. I don't put these together yet because if I make a mistake, then I can flip this over. I want to show you the new ink pads. This is Hydrangea Hue, and these are magnetic. They easily can pull off. You'll see a lot of people opening them this way. I don't know why they do it that way, but you can just pull it off if you like. You can turn it over. Now it won't stick as well, but at least you can turn it over so you know where the lid is. And if you notice, it has a strip so you know the name of it there. This was also made so that when it is on correctly, you can see here's the ink pad. When I put it on top of the base, it is upside down so the ink goes to the top of the pad, just like our current ink pads do. And this has the name at the very end. Now, when these come, it's just like the other ink pads. You have names so that you can use them or just use it for the color. What I liked was when I removed the English labels, I had labels left over. So if there was a question about what this ink pad was or what the bottom of this ink pad belonged to, I know what it belongs to because the name is on it. All right, so enough about that. One thing you need to realize about these is they're not foam anymore. So we need to use them a little bit differently. On our foam pads, you just needed to touch it, barely touch it, and you would have ink on things. So this, you want to press a little more firmly on it. And another thing I have found is it's very easy to also just twist it. I used to do this with my Memento ink pad as well. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp. Now I'm going to stamp wishing you a lovely day close to the top. Excuse me. I want to make it close to the top so that I have plenty of room for this cute little flower at the bottom. And I liked putting it sideways or on an angle. It doesn't matter. All right. Now for the inside. Like I said, I want to leave the inside blank so I can write something, or when I decide what I want to use it for, then I can add a sentiment inside. But I want to decorate it a little bit, so I'm going to take another new stamp pad, and this one is called Peaceful Pine. And I'm going to use this to put some greenery inside. And once again, I'm going to just push a little bit, and then I'm going to twist. So let's put some greenery over here. I think that's a very pretty green color. I really like it. This also, you don't have to be real careful when you're putting this on. The magnet is so strong in this, you could just let it go and it'll fall on top of it. Good to know. All right, so now we're going to put this together. We're going to put some adhesive on this. And this will go on the inside of our card. So let's open that up. And because I want a nice, easy way to do this, I'm going to fold these two doors back so this lays flat. I always find it's a whole lot easier to work on something when it is flat like that. And you're not fighting those doors. So I put my adhesive on. Notice too, I'm holding opposite ends here. I'm hovering over the area that I want to put this at. Look to make sure I have all my edges even and push down. If I'm using glue, then what I do is I turn it over and I rub it this way so that I'm not moving the card. All right. Next thing we want to do is we want to add the white circle to the hydrangea color. I find it's easier if I hold it in front of me like this. It's easier to make sure I have stuff kind of lined up the way I want it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add dimensionals. And you'd think I was going to add them on the back of the circle. But let me show you what worked better for me. I want to put this on the center panel here. And I want to lift it up a little bit so that this can easily move in and out. So what I did was I put my dimensionals right on the panel itself. Then I know the circle is going to fit on it. It's not going to get anywhere else. And again, I can lift this up and put my circle exactly where I want it to be. I don't have to guess where the dimensionals are going to go. I have it all together. Excuse me. Okay. Last thing we want to do then is to add our flowers. I like to add flowers around the sentiment. And then on this paper, because of the small flowers, I like sometimes to add the bling that I have, or my embellishments, to one of the flowers. So that's our card for today. Wishing you a lovely day. And then you fill in the occasion that you want this for. I think Dawn had a great idea when she had made this card. I hope you like the card. I hope you give it a try. And thanks for watching.